Hello and welcome to this tutorial that I'm going to show you how you can be a pro at your software, or at least get on that path. So this is actually how I learned when I was in the brick and mortar school a few years ago. They taught us basically using this technique to learn our software and really get to know it. And Eclipse already has built in it pretty much everything you need to know to get started and then some. I'm on version 10. I know you see a donkey at a steno machine there. That was actually a drawing my daughter did for me for a convention that I was presenting at. It represents what I would call ass power, where you sit down at your machine and practice. You get on your butt and practice. So that's what that is. I followed a tutorial once a long time ago, and I don't remember how I got it on there, so I'm going to have to dig that up to figure out how I did it when I get onto version 11. So this is, like I said, this is version 10. I am going to be getting on version 11 here very soon. It just opened up July 7th. They just released it. July 17th, which for me was yesterday. And I know that they're going to be sending emails out in batches to upgrade to version 11, and I will do that when I get my notice. But I'm telling you what, I just went to a convention last weekend in Florida, and they had an all-day Eclipse training, and I'm telling you what, version 11 it just blew my mind away with the updates and the things that they are going to be able to do with the software that will help us with our job. It is amazing. That's all I'm saying. This software is just phenomenal. And so please just start learning it. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So up here at the top, you see the word support. And underneath it, first of all, you have the help topics. The help topics are great because if you're just trying to figure out how to do something, you just type it in. Like, for example, I have dictionary typed here. If I hit return, it's going to open it up and give me all these different things that will pertain to dictionary. So I can click on here and I can read through this, any of these, and I can go through, and sometimes even at the bottom, I don't know about this one. Oh, yep. They will have what's called visualizers. I'm going to show that to you right now, but a lot of times these visualizers are videos that are they average about 2 minutes long. I don't think I've ever seen one over 4 minutes or even 4 minutes. They keep them really, really short, but within the help, it has a link to get to the visualizers, okay? So that is very, very handy. So how you can get to visualizers and explore is right here under the support, visualizer topics. And when you open it, it comes up with this. And I'm seriously, some of these have videos within videos. So like if you're a voice writer, you could do F5 or you could do this one. Let's go to general editing right here. All of a sudden you have all these different ones, and you have all these different ones. I mean, I'm telling you, I have no idea how many videos are in here, but there are a ton, and take advantage of them, especially if you're a visual learner. Then the next thing I want to talk about is Eclipse documentation, and I would definitely explore this if I were you. Let me bring it down here so you can all see it. Let me make it smaller here. It's quite big. Okay, so this is Eclipse, all the documentation that you need if you want to read about it. For example, the ones that are going to be the most beneficial to you are Eclipse commands, which is basically, it has like the hyperkey for all the different things that you can do, many of the different things. 2 pages long, you print it out, it has the hyperkeys, and then it'll have like the keyboard shortcuts, like when you use Control and Alt and Shift Alt and all those different things, the equivalents of each of those. So definitely worth printing out and maybe laminating. So this is the chart that I'm going to tell you, print this out right now or yesterday or last week. This is what you really need for editing your documents. Right here is this Eclipse hyperkeys. I have one that's color-coded, and if you're interested, just reach out to me, danaspear@gmail.com, DANASPEAR@gmail.com, and I will send that to you. The color-coded one will just has highlighted on it different ways, like movements or deleting. It categorizes the different hyper keys. Another one they have that might be helpful is the quick guide. That is another one that just has all these different just total Eclipse quick guides that you can kind of alphabetically, I guess, find what you're looking for. Anyways, and then the last one might be helpful. You can print it off if you want to, but it's over 1,200 pages long. It is the actual manual for your software, and you can go through there. And I think it has links. So like if you went through it through a PDF, they might have links. Like if you clicked on it, it would take you to the page. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that, but you could try it and see. So those are different ways that you can learn your software. But today I want to focus on how I learned initially how to use my software. And it's these two right here. You have install lesson and lesson player. Eclipse already comes with lessons on how to learn it, like I said. So, but first you have to install the lessons. Now, lesson player, some teachers will actually create lessons within Eclipse. I have never had a teacher that has done that, but I can see how beneficial it is. But Eclipse already comes with the lessons on how to learn the software. So first of all, you hit install lesson, and it comes up with, look at all these lessons that you can learn, okay? Start with the beginning. First of all, you are going to need to load it. You can load several at a time if you want, just, I'm just gonna do those. I'm gonna load them, okay? It doesn't show that they're loaded, but I just loaded them. Now I'm gonna go back to support and hit lesson player, and it's gonna show all of those right there. So they always need to be loaded. I'm going to click on hyperkeys right now because I'm going to show you a few things. Go through these yourself, but I'm just going to show you a few things here about the lessons themselves. So here I have my my lesson, and of course the first thing it's going to teach you is about hyperkeys. So you can see how important hyperkeys is. You need to learn hyperkeys. For example, so it's going to tell you to turn on and off hyperkeys is going to be Alt-Z or hyperkey N. Well, let me show you, okay? First of all, notice the cursor here. Let me move it down here so you can notice it. See how skinny it is like that? Now I want you to go, so down here you can see how skinny it is. Now if you go up to this hyperkey button, you can notice, unless I hover over it, it's not highlighted. So whenever you have a skinny cursor, and it's not highlighted, that means you are not in hyperkeys, and that's when you will use like Control, Shift, Alt, and the keyboard shortcut. That requires, you can, anything you do in hyperkeys, there's also going to be like a Control or a Shift or some other function. But I'm telling you what, it's so much faster if you don't have to move your fingers to hit Control, whatever, to do what you want it to do. You have your both hands on the keyboard, and it's either Shift letter or just letter itself, and you can move around using your keyboard without having to move your fingers all over the place. So if I want to, so I hit Alt-Z, and it's going to watch the little box up here, okay? If I hit Alt-Z, it's going to turn hyperkeys on. Okay, so not only did that light up, but this cursor got really chunky there. So now you have a chunky cursor, and if you notice down here in the bottom corner, it says Hype, HYP, which means you are in hyperkey. So there's 3 ways while you're in your document to let you know that you are in hyperkeys. Now I'm going to hit Alt-Z again, and it's going to go skinny, and now you notice that it's not there, and sometimes it'll say type, especially like now this is interesting, okay, because another way to get out of, okay, I'm not in hyperkeys now. Another way I would get out of hyperkeys is I'd hit the Enter key. Whoops, except it's not going to let me do it here. So let me get back into hyperkeys here. So I'm in hyperkeys right now. It says hyperkey down here. It's lit up, and I have a chunky little cursor. So I'm moving along here. Let's say I want to get back out of, like I want to type and right there. So I'm going to hit, you can see hyperkey N, right? Lowercase n. I'm just going to hit the N, and it's going to go skinny. Now watch. Here I have the skinny. It's off hyperkey, excuse me. and down here it says type. So now I can type and or, all right? And then to get out of it without moving my fingers, I just hit enter. If I hit enter again, it's going to erase. Let me just show you. I'm just going to hit enter. Whoops, it didn't do it there. Probably, hold on, probably because there's okay. So here I have and or, right? And I just typed and I want to get out of hyperkeys and I want to get rid of the or. So I'm going to hit enter. I guess it's not going to do it. Maybe it's because it's an actual document. But usually what would happen, let me try it down here. Total eclipse. I'll do it down here because I know it'll work here. So I want to change this word to total program, for example. So I'm going to hit my lowercase n, and it's going to, now down at the bottom, it's going to say type, and the hyperkeys is off. Now I'm going to type program to get back into hyperkeys without having to click up there and use my mouse or anything else. I'm going to hit enter, and see, now I'm in hyperkeys. But now I don't want to hit my delete key a million times. So all I'm going to do is hit enter again, and it erased it. Now I don't really want that, so I'm going to just hit Z and go back. Hyperkey Z, hyperkey Z. And it went back to what it was. See how easy it is to use your hyperkeys. Also within these lessons, you're going to find visualizers. Visualizers I showed you before up in the support are all these videos. So within these lessons, you don't even have to like, oh, I wonder if there's a visualizer about it. It's in here already. So you put your cursor on there. I'm going to go back out of hyperkey and I'm going to hit Alt V. And it's going to bring up that visualizer right there.
Of how Auto Magic works.
Okay, I'm just going to turn it off because you can explore that yourself. So you go through, you read through it. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. Here's another visualizer, so you can watch it if you're more of a visual learner. It's going to give you all different. Here's another one, a visualizer. And I'm telling you what, the videos are really, really short, so you don't have to worry about like, a 10-minute video or something. You won't even find a 5-minute video. And then it gives you an opportunity to try it, okay? And it'll tell you exactly that right there. So when you're done with that lesson, you're done with that lesson. I mean, this thing goes on for a while, I think. It's going to, oh, see, it tells you all the different ones right here. Plus you can print it out on that sheet that I told you. So it gives you it tells you what these little things at the bottom mean. See? And then it lets you practice it. Okay, now something that I just recently learned, one of the really cool, get into hyperkeys. So I'm in hyperkeys right now. Let's say this was supposed to be an answer. And this is actually what I learned maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I was like, oh, I love this. Okay, if I hit Shift P, so a capital P, it's going to change the question to an answer. Let's say this was supposed to be an answer. I just hit Shift P in my hyperkeys and it switched it to an answer. Oh wait, no, it wasn't supposed to be an answer. It's supposed to be a question. So I'm going to hit Shift Q. And look at that, it switched it back. So Shift P, Shift Q. That is in hyperkeys. You could be anywhere in this. I'm going to hit Shift P and it'll switch, right? So I could be anywhere in this and Shift Q. I'm like, oh, that was supposed to be. So, I mean, telling you what, it's so fast where you don't have to like move your cursor or whatever and try to figure it out. Once you learn these, it's like super duper fast. Okay, it talks to you about type over tracking, which I use. So many different things. So go through these lessons and learn them, and you will be a pro by the time you get done with all these visualizers. Do a couple a week or whatever, however fast you want to go through them. You're going to learn them really fast, and then you're going to be a pro at Eclipse. So I hope that this helps, and I hope that you become a pro. And Allie loves it when she hears her students talking to reporters about how to be more efficient on their software. It's amazing. You guys are going to be pros, and you're going to just be able to whip out those transcripts so much faster if you know your software. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.